last song we're going to do Here Again.
You're on.
Oh my God, it's not scary.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to CSM Live. I'm not going to pretend like this is not weird. This is definitely very weird.
It's very weird.
But I hope you've had a good week. And that worship, stop laughing at me. That worship was fire, but I'm a little biased. Emerson, how have you been?
Good.
That's all you're going to give me. Is good.
Oh, that was like top tier.
What did you do this morning?
This morning, I woke up and I made oatmeal.
That was top tier customer service voice. Gosh.
I told Nick that if I was gonna mess up, then I was just gonna have to use my customer service voice.
Dude, if you
here I
served
am.
me at a restaurant, I would give you like a $10 tip. And that's not a compliment.
Tips are accepted.
But
Well, I thought it was a compliment.
I don't think my voice changes from like normal.
Wait, you're not allowed to accept tips at Chick-fil-A, right?
No, you have to like say sorry.
I don't like the way you're talking.
It's kind
told
of
you.
it's frustrating. 'Cause one time this guy just like threw money on my tray and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't take
Just
this.
like-
You really?
Can you,
Wait.
can I give this back to you?
We're allowed to accept tips.
Are you guys allowed to accept tithes?
What?
Are you guys allowed to
No.
accept tithes though?
No.
It was like,
I got it.
thank you.
Haha.
I'll be
No.
If you don't laugh, it hurts his self-esteem.
If you don't, shut up.
I don't think that's funny.
I don't think that's
I just realized that none of us
Sorry.
can see the chat, so I'm not going to be very helpful.
JD said hey.
Follow JD. I
Hi,
miss you.
JD. He said
Oh.
hola. He didn't even say,
He didn't.
Hey.
Call me Stas.
Please.
I took one semester of Spanish.
Well, obviously, because you just said "Come estas."
I'm a little rusty.
No,
I've taken too much Spanish, you know?
dude, I think I took like
JD says,
4 years.
I miss you, and then Jonathan laughed hysterically.
Thank you,
Well, you
James.
guys
Because
say
it's
what you
awkward.
said though.
I don't want it. Okay.
What do you say?
Please, word for word.
You say.
Ha ha hee hee hoo hoo.
Thank you, Jonathan. Your input was greatly
Oh.
appreciated.
Oh, man.
I'm carrying the team
I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
with my excellent Spanish skills.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
call me. I'm never gonna let that go.
Oh, gosh.
It's okay,
No.
because I told them about your self-esteem.
Well, that was just true. that was just that was mean. Like there was, yeah.
So now Zach will be giving us the message. Thank
Already?
you for letting
Okay.
us.
Don't you guys want to talk a little longer?
you gave up.
That's I interpreted Tristan's hand signal incorrectly.
That was a ha hee hee hoo hoo moment right there.
Okay.
I really hope my mom isn't watching this.
She's bringing you the lesson for today. I'm so used to saying that with the James devotionals. This lesson is a little bit different. It's not live. I'm recording it a little bit before, just so that we can keep everything flowing well, and so we don't have people just rocking back and forth today, because we have students leading. So I'm so thankful for them leading. But yeah. So this message is not our new series. We're not starting a new series just yet. We're waiting a couple weeks. We're just trying to get some other things prepared. But this message is very important for us in this season of life. As we're beginning to move out of quarantine, for some of us, quarantine was never a thing where it's been lifted up for a couple weeks now, but for a lot of our area, there's still some things being lifted up week by week. But as quarantine is being lifted, this is an important message for us. As we've been at home, we need to remember our mission in God, that the one that Jesus gave us. So I hope you guys enjoy this message. I hope that you apply it to your lives. It's really practical. So yeah, let's watch this. So do you guys watch spy movies? I don't actually watch too many spy movies that I think of. Like, I've seen some James Bond movies. I've seen like some one-off spy movies that are just like one movie about spies, Master of Disguise, stuff like that. Or even like FBI movies where they're training. What I'm trying to get at is that these spies, or like, let's just say FBI agents, need to train to be able to go on missions that they go on. But spies, like, they have a bunch of weird gadgets. Half of them aren't actual, like, legitimate gadgets that we have in the world usually. But they have to train to learn how to do those, or else when they go to a mission, they won't be prepared. They'll be trying to use this heat-seeking thing, laser beam, that cuts things or whatever. I don't know what it would be. But they would try to use this thing, but they don't know how to use it because they didn't train for it if they didn't train. So they have to train to prepare for a mission. To be a great spy, they got to train. They got to be prepared for the missions that they're going to be on. But if preparation is a key factor in being a great spy, some of us would be more qualified than others. Whether you're getting ready for school or a test, a day or a big game, some of us prepare in painstaking detail while others are rushing out the door with no preparation at all. So what about you? What kind of person are you? How do you prepare, or do you not prepare? I know for me it depends. Like tests, school tests, or papers. I should say papers. I don't really prepare well at all. I like to work under pressure with papers. I've shared this many times. I wait till the last week or even a couple days before the paper's due, just to do it. And I feel like I work better in that circumstance. And it's been proven. I've gotten at least B's, if not A's, on most of my papers doing that. And I think I'm just used to it now, where I can crank out a 10-page paper in 3 days. That's quality, at least in my opinion, quality. That still gives me a good grade for the class. It's just how I work. Like, I need the pressure on me to do a paper. But then in every other aspect of my life, like say if I want to go on a date with Sarah, I like to be at a place early. I like to go anywhere early. If I have to be somewhere at 8:30, I like to be there at 8:20 at the latest. Just so if anything happens or if there's traffic, we have some time to be able to make it on time that we're supposed to. So that's me. I like to be early for things. So for me, it really just depends. For papers, I like to do things last minute, but when it comes to like dates or we're going somewhere, yeah. I like to be early as much as possible. But today I want to talk to you about what preparation has to do with our mission. The mission that Jesus has given us. Our mission to tell the world about Jesus. And that mission isn't impossible, but it does require preparation. But first, let's recap what our mission actually is. And it's in Matthew 28, verses 18 through 20. If you have your Bible, you can pull it out. It's just, 3 verses. We've all heard it before. If you haven't, this is our mission that Jesus has given us, given his disciples, and also given to us. And it says this: "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." So if you know Jesus, this is your mission: to go share the good news of Jesus' life, his death, and resurrection with others, to make disciples, and to multiply ourselves. So when Jesus gave us our mission, he was speaking directly to his closest friends and followers. And one of those people present was Peter. Peter was one of Jesus' first disciples. And so some people have said that Peter was hot-headed. Peter was the kind of guy who jumped into things wholeheartedly, and that can be a great quality, but it also meant Peter was a little impulsive at times. So Peter's story with Jesus began with Jesus watching him fish with his brother. So Jesus calls Peter and said, "Hey, follow me." And Peter said, "Okay." So he dropped his nets and followed Jesus. That was in Matthew 4. That was pretty impulsive. That was really quick. And then once the disciples were on a boat in the middle of a lake, and they saw Jesus approaching, but he was walking on water. Everyone else on the boat was terrified, but Peter. Peter jumped out of the boat, and he said, hey, Jesus, can I walk with you on the water? And so he did. He jumped out of the boat, and he walked on water with Jesus for a second, but then he became panicked, and he began to sink. But don't worry, Jesus saved him. That was in Matthew 14. And just before Jesus was arrested and sentenced to death, he predicted that his disciples would deny him. But Peter passionately promised Jesus that he would never deny him. But of course, Jesus was right. And hours later, Peter denied that he even knew Jesus. Matthew 26. That same night when men came to arrest Jesus, Peter took out a sword, chopped off an ear, and Jesus had to fix that ear, put it back on, and Jesus made Peter put the sword away, John 18. Jesus could have seen Peter's impulsiveness as a problem, but Jesus saw something else in Peter too. As hot-headed as Peter could be, he was also a passionate and loyal friend and disciple. When Jesus asked his disciples who they thought he was, Peter was the first to say, "You are our Messiah," in Matthew 16. Jesus even gave Peter his name. He used to be called Simon, but Jesus started calling him Peter, a name that means rock, because Jesus promised Peter that he would be a foundational part of the church Jesus was building. Surely Peter had flaws, but one of the reasons he was such an effective disciple was that he was always ready to take action, even though sometimes he took the wrong actions. Over time, Peter grew and matured. He eventually became an important leader in the church, just like Jesus promised. And after Jesus left earth, his disciples carried out his mission, and their church grew. And as it grew, leaders like Peter faced new challenges. It wasn't enough to just share the gospel with others. They needed to find a way to teach and disciple faraway communities of new Jesus followers. The Roman government didn't like this new religion too, and they didn't like it spreading all over their empire. So Rome was also threatening, imprisoning, and killing Christians in order to prevent this new faith from spreading. So Peter wrote a letter to several communities of believers, a letter that we now call 1 Peter. And later in this letter, Peter shared more insights about how Jesus followers could carry out their mission. And as we read Peter's advice to the church, keep in mind how hot-headed he used to be and how he seems to grow a lot. So we're reading 1 Peter 3, verses 8 through 17. So it says this, starting in verse 8. To sum up, all of you, be harmonious, sympathetic, brotherly, kind-hearted, and humble in spirit, not returning evil for evil or insult for insult, but giving a blessing instead. For you were called for the very purpose that you might inherit a blessing. For the one who desires life, to love and see good days, must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. He must turn away from evil and do good. He must seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears attend to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Who is there to harm you if you prove zealous for what is good? But even if you should suffer for the sake of righteousness, you are blessed. And do not fear their intimidation, and do not be troubled. But sanctify Christ as Lord in your hearts. Always be ready to make a defense to everyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence. And keep a good conscience, so that in the thing in which you are slandered, those who revile your good behavior in Christ will be put to shame. For it is better, if God should will it so, that you suffer for doing what is right, rather than for doing what is wrong. In the last verse, verse 17, that was actually it. I read it. I wasn't looking at the numbers there. That was it. But here's Peter's advice to his believers in that text. Number one, be ready. Be ready to act. Be ready to speak. Just like we've been saying for the last few weeks, Peter reminded believers that they must share the gospel with their actions and their words. In fact, if their lives were characterized by hope, love, and compassion, Peter said their actions will give them opportunities to talk about their faith. So here's some ways Peter said that we can be ready to talk about the good news of Jesus with others. First, he says to love each other. Our love for others demonstrates the love for God, the love of God. He also says to repay evil with good. And this isn't natural, but that's exactly why it's important. Anyone can be rude, insulting, or vengeful, but followers of Jesus are called to live differently from the rest of the world. He also tells us, don't be afraid, to be bold, and trust God. And then he says to have an answer. Peter said that when we live in a way that is so different from the rest of the world, people ask why we're so filled with hope. When they do, we need to be ready to speak. He also then tells us to be gentle. There's no need to be rude, annoying, offensive, pushy, judgmental, or stern. When someone asks why we believe what we believe, Peter says to answer them gently and respectfully. It's interesting to see how Peter has grown, isn't it? The guy who nearly drowned because he panicked now says, don't be afraid. The guy who chopped off someone's ear now says, be gentle. The guy who often spoke too soon says, have an answer prepared. And the guy who was sometimes hot-headed and impulsive now tells us, be ready. Jesus transformed Peter's life in a big way, and he can do the same for you. If you worry you're not qualified or capable of joining Jesus on his mission, you are. But you need to be ready. You're called to join Jesus' mission by sharing the good news of the gospel, to be ready at all times, to share with confidence, gentleness, and respect. And you got to trust God with the outcome. So that's what Peter tells us that we need to do. And here's why it's so important for the world, for everyone else, people that are not Christians. This is why all those things are so important. The world needs you to be real. People don't need fake Christians. They don't need people who are Christians who are perfect. It's not a thing. They need Jesus followers. They need Christians who are authentic. Those who are willing to admit their mistakes, who are willing to admit their flaws, but know that their flaws will be, and their mistakes will be made perfect in Christ. The world needs you to be helpful by showing the love of Jesus and telling the love of Jesus. And the world needs to be a listener. So learn to listen well to God and to others, even those that you may disagree with. The world needs you to be ready. People are looking for answers, love, and meaning in their life, and hope. Because of Jesus, you have the opportunity to help others find the same hope that you found. So are you ready? Will you take Jesus up on his invitation? Will you live a life so full of hope that people can't help but wonder, what's so different about you? Will you use your words to tell people about the hope you have? I hope you will. Be ready, and then watch what God can do through you.
Thank you for that message, Jack. And and now we're gonna play a game. I said your name wrong.
It's okay.
Pop quiz.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. Okay. Decide if the fact about pop is greater than, less than, or equal to the statistic shown.
So for example, this one has a 40%. We're going to guess if it's greater than, less than, or equal to that given statistic. So
Nick, you read this one.
first one. All right. One study found that 40% of pops tested from fast food fountains contained bacteria associated with fecal matter. That's disgusting.
I mean,
For those of you curious, that's poop.
I feel like it would be higher.
It's most likely greater than.
actually,
Sadly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen people stick their hands in there.
I think
I'm sorry.
I think it might be lower. I don't know.
You're wrong.
Oh, Nick, please.
It's greater than.
Oh, I am wrong.
It's actually 48%.
That's
That
terrifying.
8% matters.
I really don't like that. That's really scary.
Drinking one soda a day can age you by as many as 5 additional years.
That's not true. Wait, it's not true.
I don't drink soda, so I'm in the clear either way.
I think.
Oh.
So, like, you would
Okay.
die 5 years faster.
Or would it make you look 5 years older?
It would make you look 5 years older?
I don't think so. I think it's...
That's stupid. No. Less than.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, what if, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
4.5. 4.5? What the heck? I didn't know we were going by integers.
Does that mean like soda without sugar in it, or like just
I
regular?
think just regular soda.
And it's only one a day?
Yeah.
That's not good.
But I'm
What
sure
about
it's
people?
like one a day.
Keeps
every
the doctor
day
away.
For a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
It's not like you just have one soda, today, and now you're going to die 5 years earlier.
Right.
One
But, like-
soda a day, the dermatologist gets paid. What? Let's move
That's
on.
funny. Okay. Coke's caffeine content is 19 milligrams for a 12-ounce can.
I don't know how much a milligram is.
I say it's higher than that. You don't know how much a milligram is.
Well,
How do you not know how much a milligram is?
I don't know. I don't.
How much is a milligram?
A milligram.
It's like
I'm on
one
summer break,
1,000.
Yeah, I'm not mathing right now. Yeah. I don't
It's
do
great.
that.
34 milligrams?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a
That's
lot.
not that.
That's-
That might be a big
Is that
difference, but
bad?
like
Well, it's not a gram.
That just makes me hyper. Okay.
it's 34 grams. Like, how much does a gram affect you? That's the thing. That's really what
But
matters.
that's a milligram.
The way to compare is how much does Mountain Dew have? Because Mountain Dew has like
Right.
a bunch
Oh,
of
that's fair.
caffeine, I think.
Yeah. That's the gamer juice.
Americans consume over 1.7 million tons of sugar each year from Coca-Cola alone.
It's higher than that. I think.
It's higher. It's higher. I demand change. my fellow Americans.
Sophia said, how much is a milligram?
A milligram? I couldn't tell you.
It is a
1/1000th of a
milligram.
gram.
I think probably higher. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty
it's-
sure
I
New
think it's
Zealand
higher.
itself, like, is.
This is just Americans, though.
I know, but like New Zealand in comparison, I'm pretty sure is like way higher.
How
They
do you know that?
I just
Where
figured.
did you read that?
Where did you-
Online.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's equal. I forgot that was an option.
Oh no, darn it.
There.
You want to read it?
Sure, yeah. In 2013, the Harvard School of Public Health revealed that 20,000 obesity-related American deaths from diabetes. 20,000 obesity-related American deaths from diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cancer are linked to soda.
I just got that all of them are related to soda.
I mean, it would make
What?
sense.
I
It's a
didn't
greater
know
one,
that.
but it's a greater than, less than, or equal to.
I think,
Uh,
yeah. It's probably
I think,
great.
yeah.
Great,
I think-
maybe equal to
I
or
think
greater than.
it's greater than.
I don't think it's less. I mean, it might
Wow, I'm
be. I
so-
don't know.
I'll say less than to switch it up.
Thanks. You're
Okay.
greater
Oh,
than
I was
that.
right.
Haha.
25,000.
That 5,000 makes a difference. That's 5,000 people. That's 5,000 lives. Lives matter. Let's get the next one.
Wow. All right. It would take 50 minutes of running or 5 miles of walking to burn the calories in a 20-ounce bottle of soda.
I hope
It's
not.
way more than that.
20 ounce.
Well, 20 ounces.
Yeah, it's like not that.
That's-
That's like up to like here.
I
I
thought
think it's
it was, like,
it's like one
really
of the normal
hard
ones,
to
like
do that.
store shelves ones, ain't it? Like 20.
20 ounces is the normal.
I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it would take way more than
thought
that
so.
because
I don't think so. I think it might be.
I
like
think it
a
would
little-
take way more than 50 minutes of running.
I think 15 minutes of running
Yeah,
or 5 miles of walking. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Think,
Oh, really?
Haha. I mean, they're not that hard to burn.
Mountain Dew has 45 teaspoons of sugar and 1 liter of drink.
Dang right.
dang.
We support Gamer Juice at Crossroads Community Church.
Are you allowed to
I
speak for
think-
the entire church?
I don't know.
I think
Teaspoons?
that's.
Teaspoons, like the ones for tea. They're the big ones.
No,
I
no,
think.
no.
No, the table ones are the big
Tablespoons
ones.
Are the big ones. There's
45.
3
I mean,
teaspoons and a tablespoon.
Mom, I'm sorry I disappointed.
I think probably more. Or 1 liter? Yeah, definitely. Like for certain. Greater than.
More. Less? Oh.
I was
What?
wrong.
The one time I wasn't
I'm
different.
so confused. Okay.
That's fair.
McDonald's sweet tea has tripled that, though.
Yeah, I
Really?
figured. Dude, I make my sweet tea with so much sugar.
I can't have sugar. Coca-Cola uses over 400,000 tons of aluminum for its cans every year just in the United States.
That's mass production. That's mass production, people. That's just how it works.
So you're saying
I-
equal to?
I would say more.
Yeah, more.
Aluminum
Well-
is a very,
Aluminium.
My dad makes aluminum.
You come over here and you.
Like, that's how they say it in
Aluminium. That's stupid.
Europe. Aluminium.
Neum. Why say there's no I there? There's
But
no
that's
I
just how
between
they
N
say
and
it.
E. Well, that's good for them. It's more.
Ask my father.
Why does Q have 5 words in it? I mean,
It's
Is it less than?
it's less than.
Oh my gosh.
only by 100,000.
My dad's disappointed in me.
Is that like related to this or?
What?
He's just disappointed.
It's just
in
in
He
general.
makes aluminum. Okay. You want to read it?
Sure.
Nick?
Yeah.
Haha.
Coca-Cola is the most widely distributed product on the planet. If every drop of Coke ever made were placed in 8-ounce bottles and laid end to end, the bottles would reach the moon and back 1,000 times.
That's
yeah.
shameful.
Well, we don't know if it's
Hello.
true.
That's so
Is it
much.
less than?
That's not good.
It is, dude. Coca-Cola is
I
like
think
the
it's-
most
I hope it's
obscure
less.
places.
I think it's equal.
Like you can
that.
see Coca-Cola like everywhere.
It's gotta
like
be
it-
equal to that.
I think it might be.
I mean, like they.
equal at least. But like.
It's so
everywhere.
much.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Greater than?
Fine.
Oh wait, 2,000 times?
2,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, how far is the moon?
Far.
But I mean-
Jacob Silva's on here.
That's the
last
thing.
Hi, Jacob.
Woo!
You do this
Today, Americans drank roughly 100 gallons of soda per person per year. What?
one. I can't
Wait.
say that I agree with that.
Per person?
This doesn't speak for me.
There's
I'm
no
a fit
way.
boy.
I don't.
I mean, this would be
Nick.
an average. There's obviously people who won't drink or can't drink soda or whatever.
Yeah. That's
I drink
100 gallons.
hardly
There are
any
some.
soda.
There are some gluttons out there. If you're a glutton out there,
That's a sin.
no, I mean you're right. I wasn't gonna judge people.
You were gonna say something else.
Yeah. Okay, Leslie. I figured that's just a little bit too
I
much
was like,
for my
there's
taste.
no way I drink that much soda.
All right, that's the end of the game.
That's the end.
Is it?
Okay.
That's it.
Oh.
Count it up. Who won? Yourself. We have a wonderful trophy here in bobblehead.
It's a little.
We'll send you a photocopied picture of it. We'll like press
Yeah.
it onto the thing,
Not.
and then we'll send you a photo.
Photocopy? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that means.
We could just send a picture of it.
Yeah, dude.
I know what that means.
Just send a photo of it.
That means it's just
Well,
so
I'll
much
sign it,
easier
personally.
to send a picture. But
Because everyone wants your signature.
Dang right, dude. Yeah.
So what's up next?
Oh man.
Oh,
we
All right,
we have an
there's-
announcement. A
Lady-
super special
awesome
announcement.
announcement.
Ladies
Just
and
for you.
gentlemen,
We got it.
attention
What's
everyone.
going on,
We have an
guys? I got
announcement.
a quick announcement for you. Something that's really important. It's something that is super awesome, and that is we are coming back together as a youth group on June 24th. That's in 2 weeks, or I guess 2 Wednesdays from now. We'll be meeting back together in the youth building all together. We won't be, this bar thing will be back where it was over there in front of the doors, and we'll be able to meet together, hang out together, learn together, worship together, play some games together, and have a great time. So I hope that you guys can join us on June 24th. There's going to be some things that are different though, and I'll send that out to your parents at a later time. There's going to be some changes, but everyone is welcome. So that means invite your friends. After this unprecedented time of just change, of COVID-19, of protests, of riots, of murder hornets, of whatever else there was going on so far in 2020, we have the chance to share the gospel with others. We've always had the chance, but now is an important time to share it after being away for so long. So I encourage you guys to invite your friends. We're going to have a blast that first time together on June 24th, and we're going to be starting our new series, Run to the Father, that day as well. So I hope you guys can join us. Again, that is June 24th. Same setup. Your parents will be getting an email about it right now. They should probably already got an email by the time that you're watching this. But there'll be another email later on about some details, some things that we're going to have to do for health and safety measures to protect you guys, to protect me, to protect our leaders, and to just watch out for everybody. So I'm super excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. So I'll see you guys later. Super excited, can't wait, super pumped. Let's go. I'm excited. You're on.
Why me?
We discussed this.
Okay, fine. So, thank you guys for tuning in to
Wait.
this episode of CSM Live.
Wait.
Just so you know, we're gonna be coming back on June 24th. That's not next week. That's a week after. And
So don't show up next week.
if you show up next week,
It will be.
you might be forced to clean up stuff because
Or pressure wash the front.
or pressure wash the front.
Or take down the ladder.
You can't see
One
it
of
because the camera's pointed this way, but
But
it is a huge mess.
It is a disaster.
Huge mess.
It's not a huge
It is
mess.
a disaster.
Wow, guys.
We have to
Zach,
move
I
so
got
much
your
stuff.
bag.
It's a mess.
It is
Huge
a
mess. I don't know.
It is a disaster.
It is
Different messes in here.
It is an actual disaster.
It looks like a tornado ripped through here twice.
a tornado with a lot of cords. Just
The room
cords.
is half open. Yeah.
There's no more walls.
What's behind you?
I don't believe in walls.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it.
So yeah, don't come next week. We won't be here. Zach might be here. Oh, I don't know.
But we hope to see you the 24th.
Yes.
And you can put your chair next to mine, but not too close.
Please.
You can put your chair next to mine too.
I don't want cooties.
I don't think we're worried about cooties.
That's not the goal.
Not.
They're different things.
It still exists.
Okay.
If you're sick, don't come. We don't want that.
What?
But
That is true.
That is true. If you're sick, don't come.
Jesus still loves you.
If you feel sick, don't go anywhere, please.
if you are sick, we'll pray for you, but please don't come.
We are. Oh man.
So,
That's all we got.
Are we closing?
I mean-
You guys close it, yeah.
all right.
All right.
I don't know. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming by.
Thanks for watching us embarrass ourselves.
That's right.
Caleb, you have anything to say?
Please.
That's all I got.
Oh man.